Life is a comedy, they say, and like any good comedy, it's full of pratfalls, awkward encounters, and moments where you just want to disappear into the floor.
We all have them, those little mishaps that make us cringe, those social blunders that leave us sweating under our collars. It's the spilled coffee on the pristine white shirt, the trip up the stairs in a crowded room, the accidental pocket dial that broadcasts your deepest insecurities to your boss.
These are the moments that make us human, the tiny imperfections that remind us that we're all just stumbling through this thing called life together. The key, I found, is to embrace these moments.
After all, it's the awkward encounters, the embarrassing slip-ups, that give life its flavor. Without them, life would be a bland, predictable affair. And who wants that?
Oh dear God, no. We've all been there, that moment of sheer panic when you realize what you've done. Your heart skips a beat and you break out in a cold sweat. The dreaded reply all email. It's the stuff of office nightmares, a digital faux pas that can haunt you for days, weeks, or even longer.
You know the one. The email chain that started innocently enough, with a simple question about the office potluck or the deadline for the quarterly report. It seemed harmless at first, just a few colleagues exchanging information. But then, like a virus, it multiplies. One reply leads to another, and soon enough, it's spiraled out of control. People start hitting reply all with unnecessary comments, witty asides, and passive-aggressive jabs. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering more and more as it goes.
And before you know it, your inbox is flooded with a digital cacophony of messages that no one, and I mean no one, actually needs to see. It's overwhelming, and you can't help but feel a sense of dread every time you hear that email notification sound. And then it happens. The moment you feared the most.
You, in a moment of sheer technological obliviousness, hit reply all to the entire thread with a personal comment. Your mind races as you realize the gravity of your mistake. Maybe you meant to compliment Susan from accounting on her casserole recipe. A simple, innocent comment that was meant for her eyes only. Or perhaps you accidentally confessed your undying love for the office coffee machine. A moment of levity that was supposed to be private. Whatever the message, it's out there, floating in the digital ether for all to see. There's no taking it back, no undoing the send. All you can do is brace yourself for the inevitable fallout and hope that, in time, this too shall pass.
Have you ever noticed how the world seems to be designed for people who are, well, not you? Doorways are just a little too narrow, forcing you to contort your body into unnatural positions just to squeeze through.
Chairs are either too high or too low, leaving you feeling like Goldilocks in search of the perfect seat. And don't even get me started on revolving doors. Those things are like mini obstacle courses designed to test your patience, your coordination, and your ability to not get smacked in the face by a pane of glass.
It's like the universe has a secret stash of invisible tripwires and strategically placed banana peels, just waiting for us to let our guard down. And the worst part?
It's usually happening when we're already feeling our most awkward and uncoordinated.
We all like to think of ourselves as relatively fashionable individuals, but let's be honest, there are days when even the most stylish among us fall victim to the dreaded fashion faux pas.
It's the mismatched socks, the tag that's been hanging out of your shirt collar all day, the spinach stuck to your teeth that you swear wasn't there when you left the house. It's the moment you realize your fly is down in a meeting, or worse, that you've been walking around with your skirt tucked into your tights.
And then there are the wardrobe malfunctions. The button that pops off your shirt at the most inopportune moment, the zipper that decides to stage a revolt, the heel that snaps off your shoe, leaving you hobbling around like a wounded flamingo.
Section 5. Food, glorious food, and the disasters that follow. In this section, we dive into the wonderful world of food, exploring its beauty, its ability to bring people together, and the occasional mishaps that come with it. Food, in its purest form, is a beautiful thing. The vibrant colors, the enticing aromas, and the intricate presentations all come together to create a feast for the senses. It nourishes us, it brings us together, and it fosters a sense of community. Whether it's a family dinner, a holiday feast, or a casual get-together with friends, food is often at the heart of our most cherished moments. It has the power to evoke memories and create new ones. A single bite can transport us back to our childhood, remind us of a loved one, or bring back the warmth of a special occasion. But it can also be the source of some of life's most embarrassing moments. We've all been there, spilling a drink at a party, dropping food on our clothes, or making a mess in the kitchen.
There's the classic food in the teeth scenario, which is always made worse by the fact that you're usually mid-conversation when you realize it. It's a universal experience that never fails to cause a bit of embarrassment. Then there's the art of trying to eat spaghetti gracefully, which, let's face it, is a skill that eludes even the most refined among us. The slippery noodles and the inevitable sauce splatter make it a comedic challenge.
And let's not forget the sheer panic that sets in when you're at a fancy dinner party and you have absolutely no idea which fork to use. The array of utensils can be daunting, and the fear of making a faux pas is real. Do you go for the one on the outside? The inside? The rules of etiquette can be confusing, and it's easy to second-guess yourself. Or do you just throw caution to the wind and use your hands? Sometimes the best approach is to embrace the chaos and enjoy the moment, no matter how unconventional it may be.
Section 6. Technology, friend or foe? Spoiler alert, it's both. Technology is a double-edged sword, offering both incredible benefits and frustrating drawbacks. Technology, in theory, is supposed to make our lives easier. From smart home devices that can control your lights and thermostat with a simple voice command, to laptops that allow us to work from virtually anywhere. The conveniences are undeniable. But anyone who's ever struggled to set up a Wi-Fi connection knows that the reality can be quite different. The frustration of dealing with a stubborn router or a weak signal can make you question the very existence of technology. Or how about the time you accidentally liked an ex's post from 5 years ago? The sheer panic and embarrassment that follows is enough to make you want to throw your phone out the window. These moments remind us that technology can be a fickle mistress, offering convenience one moment and causing headaches the next.
It's the autocorrect fails that turn innocent messages into something out of a horror movie, leaving you scrambling to explain what you really meant. The accidental butt dials that leave you wanting to crawl into a hole and die, especially when they happen at the most inopportune moments. And let's not forget the Zoom meetings where your microphone decides to broadcast your every sniffle and sigh to your entire team, turning a simple meeting into a source of endless embarrassment.
And then there's the constant pressure to keep up with the latest gadgets and gizmos. Every year, new devices hit the market, each promising to be better and more advanced than the last. Do you really need that new smartwatch that can track your every move, monitor your sleep, and even remind you to stand up every hour? The answer is probably not, but the allure is hard to resist. And let's not forget the convenience of being able to order a pizza with just a flick of the wrist. It's these small conveniences that make us fall in love with technology, despite its flaws. But still, you want it. The desire for the latest and greatest tech is a powerful force, driving us to constantly upgrade and stay ahead of the curve.
Section 7. Lost in translation: the perils of social interaction. Social interaction is a minefield, even for the most socially adept among us. It's a delicate dance of reading body language, deciphering tone, and trying to figure out what the hell everyone else is thinking. And sometimes we just completely miss the mark.
There's the awkward silence after you've told a joke that no one finds funny, the moment you realize you've been talking about yourself for the past hour straight, the excruciating pain of accidentally calling your teacher mom.
And then there are the times when you completely misread a social cue, like when you go in for a hug and the other person goes for a handshake, resulting in a weird, contorted embrace that makes you both want to disappear.
And social graces occasionally go out the window. Technology fails. It's a world where spills happen. Section 8, embracing the absurdity. So there you have it, a glimpse into the wonderful, wacky world of everyday mishaps.
But it's also a world where laughter is the best medicine, where awkwardness is embraced, and where even the most cringe-worthy moments can become cherished memories.
And remember that you're not alone. Learn from it. Laugh it off. The next time you find yourself in one of life's little mishaps, take a moment to appreciate the absurdity of it all.
We're all in this together, stumbling through the obstacle course of life, one embarrassing moment at a time.
And hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, well, who can you laugh at?
Exactly. Embrace the chaos, and let's make some memories worth laughing about.